So this is actually I did my own rendition of a Da Vinci painting, and just added the stick to it. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel when you've got such a great illustrator. So just one is good. So this is really for me to just have a reference for teaching. Like you'll see the little shape down here. In general, I say to people I want about a 2-inch or 2-finger distance. So it's about 2 fingers. You can see this is all actually pretty well to size. Even the stick is probably the right size. It's the same size. So this is the distance from the junction of your hand and stick to the end of your stick. That would be what I refer to as the middle of your stick, not the actual middle of the stick, which would be lower. So that's the best place for you to grab your opponent's weapon because you get the greatest amount of control. They've lost their leverage, but they can't strike you. Jeremy, let me steal Jeremy for a second. So if Jeremy, with his left hand, grabs the end of my stick, I can still hit him in the face. Okay, so I can still hit him. But if he grabs the middle of my stick, now it's much harder. Okay, so hence the X. That's why you want to grab the middle. You don't want to grab the end of the stick. This section here is all about how people react, because every person has, if they can see me, he'll have an automatic flinch reaction if I bring the weapon to him, unless he has intentionally trained it away. If I go like this, you'll get the flinch. Okay, so we aim with weapons with the last 8 inches of the stick, about that much distance. That way, I'm aiming to hit you with all of it. First of all, safety-wise, I don't ever want you to see the end of my stick, because I'm not going to poke you in the eyes that way. So if you don't mind, I can just tap you on the head all day long. It's no big deal. But one touch on the eye is going to ruin your life. Okay, so for training purposes, it's very useful. But for combat, I also want to hit with the last 8 inches, because the likelihood is you'll either get hit by the shot flush or you'll try to get away. And when you back up, you'll get the worst of it. Okay, because the very end of the stick, which is circled here, is going the fastest. It has the highest velocity. Mass times acceleration equals force. It's hitting the hardest. So, but I'm not going to aim with that, because if I do, you might flinch away, and now I'll miss. So I add 8 inches so that when you flinch away, you've helped me. Do you see what I mean? So hence, all of this is all about describing that. This here is all about teaching people not to be collapsed. When I see these wrinkles appear on the wrist, your weapon is essentially collapsed. You have no strength. Okay, you need to have some extension so you can engage your flexors here and actually be able to resist. So all of that is all about describing the way to hold the weapon. You notice the last 2 fingers are the strongest. In fact, your little fingers, 50% of your grip. Okay? The last 2 fingers are the most important fingers for gripping. Everybody tends to look at their hand and see these 2 fingers are bigger, and they think of them as the more important fingers, but actually these are the most important fingers.
Oh, that's
okay, so they're actually the ones that do the gripping on the stick. If you really whip your weapon, you can actually do it without your first 2 fingers. Okay, so really important. And then the thenar eminence and the hypothenar eminence are the aspects of the hand that we grab to do disarms. So rather than saying the hand, I actually like to be anatomically accurate. So that's just a way of describing it. And